All right. All right, I'm starting.
Hold on.
Never mind. Oh, I'm starting. I'm starting from here. I can't do it. I can't. I have to keep going.
All right, go.
Hi, Billy Mays here for OxyClean, the stain specialist powered by the air you breathe, activated by the water that you and I drink. It's Mother Nature's approved and it's safe on your colored fabrics. Use it on carpets. OxyClean seeks out organic stains.
Stop.
Did he say I could drink OxyClean?
No, why do we do this?
What do you mean?
Why do we allow Eddie to read random crap before we start our episodes?
This is on my grandpa's tombstone. What are you talking about?
Billy Mays is your
Is
grandpa?
Billy Mays your grandpa?
No.
Why is it
I'm
on
gonna
your
hit
grandpa?
the intro.
You guys are being weird.
Please, Zach, hit the intro. Just get us out of this.
It even takes red wine and grape juice out of white carpeting. It cleans, it brightens, it eliminates odors all at the same time.
We already hit the intro, Eddie.
What do you
It's
mean?
over.
We hit the intro. Billy Mays is gone. And we're not doing it anymore.
Not cool, dude.
What, too soon?
Too soon. Only 90s kids would understand emotional, gone sexual.
What is happening? Okay. Welcome to the Too Heavy Wrestling Pod. I swear we talk about wrestling. Randy, Zach, Eddie, what do we got going on this week?
The women's tag team titles changed hands.
Yes. Becky Lynch and Lita are your new WWE Women's Tag Team Champions. What else happened?
I'm still messed up right
Actually,
Billy Mays
allow me. Things aren't very oozy right now.
In the bloodline or in
Just
general?
in general, I'm not feeling very oozy.
now. That promo, though.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. We definitely have to talk about the Cody Rhodes and Roman Reigns.
Yes.
Yes.
You know what? Let's just Roman Reigns is our tribal chief, of course. I just have to establish that. Yeah, he's the one. We understand.
But Cody Rhodes, man.
But Cody Rhodes can cut a mean promo.
Cody Rhodes.
All right, but like whatever. So Cody Rhodes, now like we've talked about, I'm kind of convinced he's probably going to win.
Yeah, I mean, I've been convinced he was going to win since before he won the
I
Royal
wasn't
Rumble.
convinced yet because of this 1,000-day stuff. Roman Reigns has all the momentum in his favor, and if he does lose, he's going to take a break, which means it's Cody's world.
Yeah, it's everything, yeah. So,
Yep.
But definitely take time to go back and watch the promo because both of them were amazing. Roman just lays the belts out on the ring, which is a little cliche, but there's something about the way he did it that I was like,
They laid out this
Oh,
promo
this actually means
really well
something.
because we were waiting for them to finally meet. And we
Yeah.
got the Paul Heyman stuff on Raw 2 weeks prior. And it really set up that moment that we got on Friday. It's them two meeting for the first time.
yeah, well, since Mania, because they've had matches previously.
Well, yeah, way back. But I
But
mean,
like,
this is
this was
God
their first
Roman.
face-to-face since they've officially been the main event of WrestleMania.
Yeah.
Has Cody actually never had a world title match? Like, is that actually a known fact?
He is not, I don't think so.
I couldn't think of it.
I thought
Unless
he
it was
had
for
one
the world
against like
heavyweight.
Randy Orton when that was a part of the Authority or whatever. I actually thought I remembered seeing something like that. And same with Goldust, and then they both like came back. Or it was like a fired or world champion type situation.
I
know
mean,
they did the tag
maybe-
team match.
Yeah, I remember that.
I don't remember. I can't pull from the annals of my memory a Cody Rhodes WWE title match.
The annals from your memory?
Yeah, that's a phrase.
Go off, dude. But the annals from my memory show.
Yeah.
I guess Cody Rhodes just like I remember him being a lot bigger. Like dashing Cody Rhodes was over. At least I
Yeah.
thought it was over. And then like whatever the disaster Cody Rhodes or whatever where he was wearing a mask and
The ugly Cody
ugly
Rhodes.
Cody Rhodes just wearing a mask. Like it was
Yeah.
disgusting. I threw up every week I saw him come out and
Yeah.
just I honestly the way he was pushed, I remember him being like over for what he did. But I guess he just never got pushed in that spotlight. Now, like, that Roman's getting to utilize that, I'm like, wow, this makes for a way better story. And of course, bringing up his father, which,
which their NXT, I didn't ever once consider their NXT ties and how much time Roman actually probably did spend with Dusty. That never crossed my mind. And I'm sure I'm not alone in that. I don't know about you guys, but there's probably a lot of fans. Yeah, like I had never once considered that. And now that that's being talked about, I'm like, that makes so much sense.
Because we tied Dusty to a lot of the NXT talent that came up during the Black and Gold era, not the ones before.
Right.
But you got to think about Seth Rollins and Dean Ambrose and Roman in that, because they were the biggest three to come out of Dusty's original class.
I think when Dusty kind of left Spotlight, and I'm more of an NXT guy, just like kind of looking at it, he kind of left when Sami Zayn, Kevin Owens, everyone started migrating over there. This was like the original class, and then William Regal took over. And just like the two impact just looking at the roster, especially now, like you see everyone NXT. It's like everyone is NXT.
Yeah, well, that's how it's designed, right?
Yeah.
Like it's unless you're AJ Styles, and even then, there are people that I would have considered AJ Styles level, like Samoa Joe, that still chose to go through NXT. But like they're like, unless you're AJ Styles level, or probably Kenny Omega, if he ends up coming over, that rumor's still running rampant right now. Like, unless you're at that level, you're going to go through NXT at this point. So, I mean, we had to expect at some point that this roster would be just NXT latent.
Yeah.
You know?
It's just looking at NXT now, and no offense to NXT and their product, because they are making really good stuff, and there are like some pretty big indie names on NXT, but it's like when you have a class loaded with Finn Balor, Samoa Joe, Shinsuke Nakamura, Sami Zayn, Kevin Owens for a little bit at that time, like you can't peak that. That is their peak as NXT. And of course, everyone being on the main roster, unfortunately, not all of them got to win world championships. I would have thought Samoa Joe would have won a world championship. Like
he should have.
The injury.
Yeah, and by this point, apparently Shinsuke might get a push soon. That's another big thing that's been talked about. Like, he may get a world title, but that doesn't necessarily mean he'll get a world title push, rather. But he's supposed to get a big push. He's one guy I want to see have a world championship, but like, I like just looking at 2018 Shinsuke, I'm like, it would have had to have been then. I don't think you can do it anymore.
When he won the Rumble?
Yeah.
It would have had to have been at that WrestleMania. Like, the fact that he lost was completely shy. The fact that Samoa Joe lost the matchups against Jay Styles when he was doing that Wendy stuff, like,
yeah, well, that was a little different. Like, when you do a storyline that personal, the face kind of has to come up. That's how that should shake out. But I think you're right about Shinsuke and AJ at WrestleMania, especially because when you look at Shinsuke, just his stock and like what he's worth versus what he's capable of being worth, there's not a lot of people that would think that Shinsuke would feasibly go over on, say, a Brock Lesnar, a Roman Reigns, a Gold, like that level caliber. But when you have AJ Styles as the WWE champion, like he's the AJ Styles is like the perfect mixture of like can hang with the best, but also could lose every once in a while.
Definitely.
And like Shinsuke beating AJ for the WWE title would have been the perfect, like, I believe that he could be champion if he's beating AJ Styles, but I don't think Shinsuke could beat Roman Reigns or Brock for the title.
Shinsuke hasn't won one?
You what?
I thought he did won one.
Shinsuke?
Yeah.
World title?
Been world champion.
No, he's not been a world champion. He's been an NXT champion, but
yeah, if you count that, but I don't.
Used to count that.
Well, he's been IC though.
Yeah, he's been IC,
and he's been United States title.
He's been United States too. Tag team.
He's been tag team with Cesaro.
Yeah.
But
wow, that completely went over my head.
But like Roman in NXT, if I don't know, this was like 2013, 2014, so like it's a little bit of a blur, but he only had like a couple NXT televised matches. Like he wasn't even pushed like that because they already had plans for him and Dean Ambrose.
Roman Reigns for most of it.
No,
yeah, it was Roman Anoa'i or Joe Anoa'i or whatever, like his real name.
Right, and both of them, Dean Ambrose and him.
It was something off the wall.
It was a little weird, but Seth Rollins had that big NXT title push, and then he lost to Big E, I believe.
Yeah.
And then forming the Shield. But like Seth Rollins was the only person who had experience like being on television every week till then, and then Roman ends up being the guy. You could call Seth Rollins the guy, but like in completely different capacity. But Roman just did everything, and I'm so glad we're getting that. And I don't know if I want it to end yet, because like we talked about last week, it's so good.
The thing about that though is that it has to end when it's good, because if it doesn't end when it's good, that means it's going to end when it's bad, and I never want to see it get bad.
Right.
So that's like the catch-22. You have to end it when it's good.
Right.
That's taking advantage too much of a good thing.
Yeah, like you don't want to pull that string too hard.
You leave the fire hot so that you can come back to it later, because if it turned bad, then they're not going to want to revisit it later either.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, realistically, if Roman loses the belt at Mania, he's going to take a break, right? Is he going to do anything on that break? Is he going to go film a movie or something? What's he got going on?
I would think so. It makes sense. I haven't heard anything.
I wouldn't be surprised if he just went off the radar for a couple months.
Do you think he's back by SummerSlam?
I don't know. I think he does definitely go for a rematch against Cody.
Oh yeah. I mean, when you build that much stock into being a
Do you
champion,
think he
and
immediately
also,
takes his rematch for like Raw for Mania, or do you think he waits until the next pay-per-view?
well, technically WWE doesn't do guaranteed rematches anymore. Belts.
Technically,
so,
no, but
granted, someone of Roman Reigns' caliber surely will get it.
yeah,
I doubt he cashes it in right away, though. I think he wants to take
that could be the big return, I guess.
something like that,
Yeah.
especially if they really wanted to storyline it well, they would have him wait until Cody loses it, and then he challenges that person because he's afraid of Cody, that kind of deal, and
Yeah.
then you could revisit that feud a couple years down the line.
Right.
About to say, does he lose it if it's Cody? Does he lose that match if it is a return match? And like, let's say SummerSlam and Roman Reigns does come back, would he come out on top? Like, is there something?
Like, do they put the belt back on him?
Yeah, or put
Depends
a
on
belt.
who takes it from Cody.
Well, that's the other question. By the time he comes back, is it still unified first?
Bray, it's not. I don't want it to be
Because-
unified.
Because if it's not unified, I could see them putting one of the belts back on. If it is unified, I don't think they'll put it back on. I think they'll wait long. He will. This is not his last title reign. He will eventually win the belt back at some point.
Right.
He's still relatively young, and he's got a lot of his career left to go. If he decides to go like the Edge route,
Right.
or Randy Orton route, I guess.
Yeah,
I should
Randy
say.
Orton.
If he wants to go the Randy Orton route, but if he's going to go like the John Cena route, he's coming up on that 10-year mark.
Yeah.
Just
We're in big
depends.
question mode right now, because I mean, we're going to Raw on March 21st,
Yeah.
and the big thing I like is if they do split it, it has to be immediately, right? I don't think that unless Cody plays the whole, like I always keep bringing it up, is that he'll play the working champion, and he'll defend both
Oh,
belts
yeah,
instead
I mean-
of being a unified championship. So that's how he would lose one. I don't necessarily
see
see
that.
him just dropping it, but if we're playing it off the story that we've already talked about, where he's like, I really wanted this belt,
Yeah.
here's the universal.
Sammy, be a world champion.
I can talk about that though.
What?
We get the whole Cody motivation for Sammy, and then he's just nowhere to be seen when Sammy's getting beaten up.
Oh yeah, 100%.
They had the promo on Monday, and then Cody's there to have a promo with Roman, but now as soon as Sammy's out there to have a match with Solo and he's getting beat up, it's like, oh, but where's Cody at?
Well, I mean, Kevin Owens didn't show up either.
Well, that's the thing. Kevin has said he's going to be not the.
Yeah, but we are 3 weeks away, and we still have not established a tag team title match.
It's going to be
between-
established the day of.
Do you think April 1st we're just gonna be? They're gonna be like, fine, we'll take the world titles from them,
Yeah.
or the tag titles, whatever.
Yeah.
That's bad story building. They need to.
I'm
I hope they do something better than that.
kind of fine with like the way things are going. Like,
Oh,
I want Jay to be on television more. That's just speaking like in terms of he's wearing all the same stuff all of them are wearing, and like I've been like just looking at
Yeah.
message boards, just seeing like
the black hoodie.
yeah,
thing.
black hoodie thing. I'm like, okay, so if this is a revolt against our tribal chief, and just like a revolt against everything that he is doing. Put Jay in it. I'm fine with that. But like, it's one of those things where like we talked about it about a month ago, where it's like I just need to see how it plays out, and like I didn't know how it was supposed to go. And yes, they still have the tag titles, but like if Jay does revolt, I'm not gonna be mad at that.
I wouldn't be either, but like, how do you get the tag team titles off of them? Jimmy just has to lose a match by himself.
I think the revolting happens during the Mania match. He says that he's with Jimmy,
Yeah,
but then they're in the midst of the match and Jay leaves.
I could see
Or
that
Jay beats
too.
down Jimmy and lets them pin him.
Then does that lead to the 6-man tag at SummerSlam?
That or a Jimmy versus Jay match, or
Just a one-on-one instead?
yeah.
That would be.
I would love that.
Because they've gone one-on-one before, haven't they? But it was like a tournament or
Yeah,
something.
we talked about
and
this
like,
last week. I really would be happy if they did some form of, because the Usos, I mean, just let's face it, if they're not in the bloodline or they're not together, Jay has kind of shown he can be on his own. They haven't really given Jimmy the limelight to try and be on his own because they haven't played the whole Roman versus Jimmy card. They played the Roman versus Jay card.
Well, they're starting to even plant a little bit of that seed, right? But I don't think they'll. I don't see a match between Jimmy and Roman happening, but I could see a match between Ray and Roman, or Jay and Roman.
Because how does this go next week? Because technically Jay still didn't return last week or yesterday, but because that was Roman's whole thing, right? It's like if Jay doesn't show, then he's going to blame it on Jimmy, not Sammy.
Right.
So
I think there are something else that I would like to dive into, at least that I'm thinking about. With Uncle Howdy beating up Bobby Lashley last night, or attempting to beat up Bobby Lashley last night. So, of course, we've been looking at everything and thinking it could be Hurt Business against Wyatt Six or whoever may be there. Uncle Howdy getting it like into the mix like he did.
Physically.
Yeah. And I just need something to happen with the Hurt Business at this point. Like, yeah, it could be Bray versus Bobby and that's it. And then like,
Yeah.
Firefly Funhouse characters, Uncle Howdy, all of that at ringside. But what do you think will play out with that?
also, if that wasn't a confirmation that was Bo Dallas last night, then I don't know what.
There have
what
been
was.
confirmations for Dallas. I'm
No,
more than certain.
I know internally there has been, but if you looked at the Titantron last night, they completely showed that bottom part of his face that was not anyone but Bo's.
Right.
Well, the problem I have with your theory is that is just another example of them putting back together the Hurt Business, just have them put someone else over.
Right.
Because they're not, the Hurt Business is not going to beat the Wyatt Six or Team Wyatt in any way.
No.
Right.
And so I don't want that. I would rather have a Bobby versus Bray match where there's interference from the Hurt Business and from the Wyatt family, rather than having that match happen.
Definitely.
Well, and they're playing off the fact that Howdy is still an iteration of Bray.
Yeah.
So Howdy technically attacking Bobby doesn't necessarily mean anything. I mean, yes, we are still hoping that it brings in the Wyatt Six or brings in the Hurt Business, but this could have been just an iteration of Bray coming to attack him.
Right.
You know, like
however they want to
how
play
the storyline played out, you know. So that's my gist on it, but because we still are getting teases from what's their names, Vincent and
Dutch.
Vincent and Dutch, yeah. We're getting little tidbits thrown on social media from them every time something major happens. So honestly, I do think a faction is coming from it, but the way that they keep blending the story in, it seems like they're just trying to make it look like the characters playing around Bray and the ones that are showing up are just parts of him.
Right.
So
I like they're playing it well. I'll give them that, but like I'm just looking at everything else, like what we could have gotten. Like we deserve a Bobby versus Brock match, in my opinion, to finish the series.
I don't understand what the hell is going on. We got Omos versus Brock. They've officially kicked that off.
well, supposedly Brock turned down a match with Bray.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say.
Yeah.
Brock turned that down because he wanted to face Omos.
Well, either way, okay. So then, what was it going to be? Bobby versus Omos? Then, what was the plan there? Anyway?
I think the plan is to make Brock look more powerful, and I don't know why Bray wouldn't be that person. Like Omos, yeah, giant, understandable, but
And this is an unconfirmed rumor, but supposedly Brock has started saying goodbye to people backstage.
That's fine. I like Brock, and this most recent face cowboy run has been nice or whatever, but like I don't need him.
Right off
You
in the
know,
sunset.
if anything, he'll do what everyone else does. He'll leave for a year or two and then have a return, do 3 or 4 matches, leave for a couple. He'll just do that.
Yeah.
So
uh,
I'm all right with that.
kind of touching on another subject. First off, LA Knight's finally, it seems like LA Knight's finally trying to get thrown into something else, but at the same time,
it seems like he's feud. I think he's gonna have a match with either Xavier or Kofi at WrestleMania. Because it seems like the New Day is where his feud is going.
Yeah.
right, and it's this Intercontinental title stuff, and if it's not Sheamus and Drew, that'd be disappointing for a triple threat match, because that is what I would like to see, and that's what I believe we've all confirmed wanted
Drew
to see.
had his promo last night. So
Well, yeah, they finally planted that seed about why it would make sense for Drew and Sheamus to fight.
yeah.
So I was excited when I saw all that happening because I thought they were setting up to bring back the Intercontinental
I thought, too.
Championship ladder match. I was super stoked when I thought that's what was happening, but I don't think that that's what's going to happen.
To finish off the Bray comment, by the way, if you looked at the Firefly Funhouse thing from not this week, but the week before.
The Muscle Man dance thing?
No. From SmackDown 2 weeks ago. Alexa's box was what held the door open.
Oh.
I had to process that for a minute.
Yeah.
Box that controls the Fiend or brings the Fiend back.
Right.
Was what held the door open.
So we may...
Maybe
and then at the end of that, you've seen the red screen with Bray and the whatever mask that is, because that's not a Harper. It wasn't a Howdy mask, but it could be Uncle Harper mask. Because we haven't seen Uncle Harper either, and that was also trademarked at the same time that Uncle Howdy was. So that's the last tidbit I wanted to say. But yeah, it was Alexa's box. Her box was on the table, and then when the screen turned red and the door was open, it was holding the door propped open.
So we should see Alexa at Mania.
Yeah, they need to keep her off TV until then.
Right.
They need that to be a little bit more of a, we forgot about her kind of.
Yeah, that was the planting of the seed for that, I think, too. But I just wanted to throw that in as we're continuing with that.
Back to the Intercontinental thing. I think it'll be that triple threat. That's kind of what it seems like.
It should be.
It felt like they were setting up that triple threat, and while they were doing that, they used that same segment to set up LA Knight versus New Day member and whoever the hell else came out.
His match of the year was Sheamus versus Gunther.
Yeah.
Right.
And Drew being thrown in just makes it just 3 of the best guys of the last decade all going at it for the title, and it just makes so much sense, and the match just can't be anything but excellent at that point.
I need some, like, I agree with you. I thought it was going to be an Intercontinental title ladder match, but I'm like so ready for that triple threat match, and we're all going to be watching it. Like, I'd rather watch that than a ladder match, I'm going to be honest. And it's nothing against the ladder match, but it's the 3 being able to work with each other and the work that they've done in the past. That's what I'm most excited for. You can throw a ladder in that situation, but I don't know.
Focus off the type of match and put it on the 3 who are going to be in it.
Right. That's what I'm like. I don't need a ladder to make that match 5 stars. And I know they don't need a ladder to make that 5 stars.
Yeah, I mean, they're not like high flying guys either.
No.
The only problem I see with that triple threat match is that I feel like it's almost obvious that it's just they're going to take each other out. Gunther will end up pinning one of them, and they're going to leave that match feuding each other and have a blow-off match at SummerSlam or something like that. Like, the only reason I don't necessarily like that triple threat match, because I think it's going to be a good match, but from a storyline perspective, I almost immediately know Gunther's.
I'm fine with that. I just want good wrestling at WrestleMania. And yeah, I feel like Drew and Sheamus have been a little, it's just been past what we would see it at. They feuded before. We've gotten that. That's something where I don't necessarily want to see them feud anymore. Like,
that's my point though, is that coming out of this triple threat match, they're gonna feud now.
Right. And I see that. But if it makes Gunther look more powerful, and these are the 2 guys where it's the best way of making yourself look the best in your division or whatever it may be, he needs to win that match.
My big want coming out of that is that because we haven't seen Butch do a lot.
Yeah, well, where have they been? Butch and
They
what's his
haven't-
name?
And just hanging out.
What's the other guy's name?
Ridge Holland.
Yeah.
Bridge what?
Ridge Holland.
Ridge Holland. Got it.
I need Pete Dunne back. And
I
if
need
this is him staying off TV to become Pete Dunne again,
Yeah, that's okay.
and then we get Pete Dunne versus Gunther, which who took the title off of Pete Dunne in NXT UK.
yeah,
I need that match.
that would be really good. The only other thing that we haven't considered is that the Intercontinental title match could be a fatal 4-way because they could add Nia Jax to the match.
I swear to God, whenever you started laughing, I knew that's where you were
I
going.
actually woke up this morning and thought that exact same thing.
Yeah, you could have Gunther
I'm
versus
leaving.
Sheamus versus
Goodbye.
Drew McIntyre versus Nia Jax.
I don't like Nia Jax. Like, I'm over it. I'm over your
Bringing
your
her up every
subtle hype.
friggin' podcast, Randy.
I look forward to seeing Nia Jax at every pay-per-view and every Raw and every
And she
SmackDown
doesn't
like you
show
hype it out.
up.
And she doesn't show up.
I'm saying that's because they're keeping her a surprise until that match.
Dude.
I'm not like most girls.
Yeah.
I'm done. I'm done waiting. Is she our tribal chief?
All right. Yeah. We had to cut out that.
Women's
Nia
tag team
Jax
title match.
Nia Jax
Is our
and
tribal chief confirmed? Emotional?
I'm not cutting that out.
I'm okay with it. I think she should be our tribal queen.
No, she's our
be good.
tribal chief. Dude.
But I don't know. I think that if she went into that match and came out the Intercontinental Champion, I would be pretty happy with it.
I really wouldn't. I'm not gonna lie to you.
But well, I mean, what is she doing?
I do want
right
to see
now?
her get chopped by
we
Gunther. That'd be
stop?
awesome.
Can we
She gets
stop?
chopped. What?
Stop.
Stop.
Stop
what?
talking
We've seen her
about
get
Nia
RKO'd.
Jax.
We've seen her get 619. We've seen her get super kicked. I want to see her get chopped by Gunther.
One.
That's the only reason I would see her. I'd want to see her in a match.
to watch
And
her
then she's
get
out
chopped
the
by
rest of the
Walter.
match after that
Oh
one
my
chop.
God. All right. Well, what other stuff is going on? What else is there?
WWE Women's Tag Team titles.
Oh yeah, that's right. We have new women's tag team champions.
Did you honestly think they were going to win on Monday?
Yeah, I did. I really did. Only I didn't see the Trish thing happening, but I did see them winning because there's no reason for that match to happen unless they win.
Well, my thought was that they would lose due to like some form of interference, which then would have because knowing what I had thought I knew about what was going to happen for Mania, thinking that Trish was coming back as a heel,
Yeah.
I thought that Damage Control would still have the tag team titles to go against Ronda and Shayna, which still could happen. But
What are Ronda? Actually, that's a good point. Are Ronda and Shayna going to be the ones that take the tag belts off of Becky and Lita?
so
at
that's what
Mania?
I'm saying. So now
Yeah.
that we had this happen, I still believe that it'll be Becky and Lita versus Trish and Bailey, but now it's going to be for the titles. But now you don't have Dakota Kai or Io Sky doing anything.
Yeah. So what are they going to do? Dakota and Io versus Shayna and Ronda? Like, what are they doing? Well, actually, right now they're feuding with Natalya and Tegan Knox, right?
As of right now, anyway.
What a
Dude, they
great matchup.
just need Shayna and Ronda have been getting pushed. And beforehand, like, it was pretty obvious, like, hey, Ronda's done everything she could in a main title scene.
Yeah.
Best friends with
This
Shayna
is
Baszler.
Ronda's doing, by the way. I hope you guys know that.
Oh, well, why are you letting her control it then? Let someone else control it.
She was proposed a match against Rhea at WrestleMania. She would be the title. She would still be the title holder if Charlotte
Oh,
didn't
she
come
turned
back.
that down?
And she said no. She wanted a tag team title run.
Oh, I'm actually kind of happy about that then.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Well, the only real way that Ronda
Hold on.
what?
This is about to be awesome. I just want to prepare you.
The only real way that Ronda and Shayna can be considered pushed is if they beat Nia Jax in a handicap match. That's the only way they can be considered pushed.
I'm not looking at him
No.
the rest of the show.
Just saying, you can't be considered over unless you beat Nia Jax.
Yeah, that is the rule. Like,
Yeah.
I completely agree.
So no one's over anymore.
Everyone who's on the roster right now that isn't Shayna Baszler or Ronda Rousey.
Did Rhea
is
Ripley beat Nia Jax?
She did in my heart.
Oh, okay. Nice, dude.
So I don't know.
That's all that
maybe.
matters.
I'm titling this Nia Jax.
Don't.
All right, dude. Look. I'll just get us back. Shayna Baszler and Ronda Rousey need a tag team title match, like, very soon.
I agree.
Not feuding with Natalya
It
and
just doesn't
Tegan
make
Knox.
sense anymore, though. So unless there's a rematch for the tag team titles next week, but Trish now cost Lita and Becky.
I could see them doing like a 1 week title run.
And then so Damage Control now have the titles again, and now it's without the titles, Trish and Bayley versus Lita and Becky. And then Damage Control have the titles to have then Ronda and Shayna come out and challenge them.
The only problem I have with that is that when Trish returned, she specifically attacked Bayley. Like, that was the first thing that happened. So, like, how do they justify that?
Plant the seeds, making you think that that she's with her or she's with them.
I guess. I don't know. That just seems
To end their reign, though, kind of like weird.
their 1 week reign. Because we have 3 weeks until Mania. Like, it's like they don't have much time to.
I don't know. That's the most confusing
this up
side
with this-
of the WWE right now.
It just confused me, dude. I'm not gonna lie to
I
you.
just feel like they didn't have since the title or the people who were involved in that storyline were not really Dakota Kai or Io Sky. They didn't have to involve them to get them at this endpoint.
Yeah.
Don't bring up Nia Jax again.
I'm not bringing up Nia Jax again. You brought up Nia Jax.
I don't
this
care.
time. You need to stop bringing up Nia Jax.
Yeah, whatever.
So if this is like kind of a way to push Shayna and Ronda, but also push other superstars in the process, we can look at the SmackDown roster. You got something good. I can tell. There's something really good. In order to push someone, you have
Yeah,
to put
go
them
ahead.
against.
Nia Jax. You have to put him against Nia Jax.
All right, boy. Okay, cool.
No, say what you were actually going to say.
Like, they brought back Tegan Knox, and
Yeah.
not push.
Was she a big deal in NXT?
She was a big deal in
I
NXT.
didn't watch, so
She was a
I
part
don't
of the second Mae Young Classic.
It's
Was
just
supposed to go.
unfortunate because since she was injured so much, no
Right.
one knows who she is on the main
She
roster.
tore like 5 things in a match
She was
with
as
Rhea
bad as
Ripley.
Dakota Kai at one point and then got worse.
What, for injuries?
Yeah.
It
And
was
Dakota Kai got injured again, but then, it's fine because she's already on the main roster, but
Right.
still, I don't know if Tegan's going to recover because, like, anytime she's on screen, no one cares or acts like that anyone knows who she is. And Ronda even had to scream it as soon as she came out to help Natalya. She's like, who the heck is this?
Who is this?
Yeah.
She keeps calling her Skittles. And, like, that's one of those Rhonda is doing this thing that, like, when someone who's usually not funny says a funny thing, they, like, ride that joke to the end of time, and I hate it. It was very clever and creative the first time. It was very clever and creative the first time she called her Skittles. And now she's like JR, just, screaming Skittles every week at this poor girl because one fan laughed one time when she said it.
well, kind of branching off too. Same thing with Shotzi.
Yeah.
Same thing. Aaliyah hasn't been on TV, and they were trying to give her a little bit of a
She's been
push at one
vocal
point.
about that too.
She has
Her and
been
Raquel
vocal.
had that tag team, right?
Well, they're not
am I-
really a tag team.
No,
Didn't they have a
Raquel's
tag
gotten
team?
that treatment where she gets everybody as her tag team partner
Oh,
anyway.
okay.
Like, there's so many people where it seems like, hey, we signed them back, or like with Tegan Knox case rather, where they signed her back, but aren't like just nothing. It's just not.
She should
She
have been someone who went back to NXT and is like versing
Right.
Roxanne right now.
and she can wrestle too. She's like a really good wrestler, but like nothing of it. Like, I just think, what, you got another one? Hold on, let him do
I'm
it.
sorry.
No, let him.
No,
No,
no, I'm sorry.
no.
They keep popping up in my
All
head.
right, just
I know my face is obvious.
no, just do it.
No, it's fine.
It's
You
too
go ahead.
late. I already lost my train of thought.
Every
You
time
have
that
to.
you get a thought, I'm zooming in on your face.
Every time, dude, because like it pops up in my head that
And
I'm
you're
like,
just like-
yeah, well, she hasn't faced
Hold on,
Nia Jax, so how
hold
much
on.
is she
Let's
worth?
let's see if you can pull this off. Go ahead.
Well, I just said it. I was just gonna say, like, if she hasn't faced Nia Jax 1-on-1, then how do we know what she's worth?
Right, he didn't pull it off, didn't you? Dude,
So
just pushing people on SmackDown, and it's SmackDown specifically. SmackDown women's wrestlers, like, I feel like Raw's women's wrestlers get a little bit more of a better treatment.
well, it's because Bianca's their champion, so like she's been the champion for so long that your stock goes up even if you lose against her. You know what
Also,
I mean?
if your name's Charlotte, are you not allowed to wrestle? Like,
I mean, I guess.
that's what
I
it
don't know,
seemed
that-
like.
that's-
Has she had a match since she won the belt?
No, and
I think she had one against Sonya Deville.
Oh yeah, she did. Yeah,
Oh yeah. Whatever.
it
Yeah.
wasn't Nia Jax.
One
so.
or two. Yeah, it didn't mean anything because it wasn't Nia Jax. Stop bringing up Nia Jax.
Also,
Honestly, though,
when's Nikki gonna get her title run?
Nikki,
He wants to play with Nikki.
he's having a cry fest with Candice LeRae.
Yeah, that's crazy. What's happening with Nikki and Candice?
I don't
Are
know.
they gonna-
I'm not
tag
talking
team?
about that though. Honestly, though,
I'm still left. Do it again.
He wants to play with Nikki.
I'm crying.
that's getting a TikTok.
Yeah, good.
But honestly, are we excited for WrestleMania?
I am.
I'm super excited for
We're stoked?
WrestleMania at this point.
I thought
Level
things
of
would have been
excitement 1 to 10. What needs to get you to that 10 level?
6.
Yeah, I'm at like a 6 or a 7 right now. I think once these, because okay, how many actual matches are announced right now?
Yeah, I don't know how they're gonna make a 2-day event out of it at the moment. Like they need to
Well,
put more
Triple
to
H
it.
wants the shows to be shorter. I think by next year or the year after, Triple H might put it back to a 1-day show based off.
I'm
of it.
fine with. I'm cool with 1-day shows, but
I
like
am too. How many announced matches are there? for
Are you
WrestleMania?
including like the announced that's not announced or like literally
No,
announced?
just WWE has come out on Raw or SmackDown
we
and said
got
this is a match.
Cody and Roman, Brock and Omos, the women's title matches, and
That's kind of it.
Brock
All right.
versus Bray.
You mean
Or
Bobby versus Bray? Is that even announced? They haven't made that a match
It's
for
not an
WrestleMania
announced
yet.
match, but they're playing the feud.
Yeah. So what other match? Oh, Austin. Well, that's
Nope,
not
that's not
announced
announced
either.
based off a CBS Sports article right now with rumors and like confirmed matches, they only have 7 at them.
What are those confirmed
Which was
matches?
Triple H's wish, which is also why the roster's mad at him right now.
Confirmed Roman versus Cody, Charlotte versus Rhea, Bianca versus Asuka, Brock versus Omos. And it says predictions, but like 2 of these are pretty set in stone. Seth and Logan is pretty set in stone.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
For sure.
Bobby and Bray is pretty set in stone.
Yeah.
And the other one is Usos versus Sammy and Kevin, which is the predict.
7. And then you have the Walter triple threat
Right.
intercontinental match.
And
In the
that's
United
That's
States.
8.
prediction.
Oh, what?
Theory?
Theory versus Cena?
Yeah.
So 9. So that's 9 matches and only 3 or 4 of them are confirmed
Right. And
right now.
also, why do we get rid of the battle royals for the
Because
other?
he does not want. He doesn't want battle royals just to get people onto TV. He
Yeah,
wants
and I agree.
WrestleMania to feel like you're meant to be there. If you're on the card, it's because you're meant to be there, not because
'cause
you
you
got
earned a
thrown in a
spot.
battle royal.
Yeah.
That could be a pre-show thing, though. Like, not. It doesn't have to be a
I think he's
main
eliminating
card.
pre-show for
Okay.
I get that point. I agree, but they, instead of getting rid of the battle royal, you could, because this was the problem with the battle royal anyway. It never felt important because all you were winning was a trophy that kind of doesn't. I mean, I love
It
Andre, but like
became a
that trophy
joke
doesn't
after the
really.
first one.
Yeah, yeah. After it was Baron, right?
Yeah.
Baron Corbin won the first one.
him or Big Show.
Uh,
No, it was Big Show.
Oh, Big Show.
That was
that's right.
Cesaro.
Was
the
Cesaro
first-
the first one?
I think Cesaro was
I
the first
thought-
one. Then Big Show was the next one.
Either way,
Cesaro was
That's
the
how
only one
little-
that played well. Then
that's
too,
how
though.
little this battle royal matters. I don't
But
know
That's
who
where
won
I
the
think
first
like the
one.
Money in the Bank getting thrown back into Mania and
Yeah.
everything like that will be Triple H's end goal is less matches that involve people for no reason.
Well, that was the thing. If you make the battle royal mean something, like get a title shot at SummerSlam or something, kind of that's a little too
There's
Royal
still-
Rumble-y,
that's
but
too
like
stipulation.
if you make
heavy.
it mean something, then you would have qualifier matches, and people
Oh,
qualify
it-
for the battle royal, and now you earn a spot there.
I
Like, you
miss
can
that
do
so much. Just like the qualifiers before Money in the Bank for Mania.
Yeah,
It was so much
That's what
fun.
I'm saying. I think we'll get to that. I agree with Triple H's vision, which the roster doesn't, because they're like, oh, we want to be in part of Mania. But
Well, that's twofold though, because they're not going to get a WrestleMania moment, but also you get a bonus check for being on the card.
Well,
There's a
yeah.
bonus
Right.
money, and that's probably what they want.
yeah, but
Which I get. I would totally.
I'm completely on Triple H's side from that, though. I want there to be even if they went back down to one night, which they're never going to, but it would just be. I just want a straight line card, know exactly what I'm getting, not a lot of gimmicky matches.
Yeah.
This is why we also need no unifications. Like me,
Oh yeah, because that's an entire other match with an entire other story.
right?
and-
Two
But I'm
Two
saying
other
you get
matches.
two nights, you get 2 sets of shows like that.
Well, the only problem that I see with that though is that is a very slippery slope to Raw WrestleMania and SmackDown WrestleMania, and I do not want that at all.
Mm,
Like, I'm not
That's
saying
where
it's
it would lead.
yeah,
depends.
like it does. Well, not necessarily, right? It doesn't have to go that way because you could do like
You have the
Raw.
tag
You could have
titles
Raw
on
tag,
one.
but SmackDown main on this night, and then Raw main.
Yeah.
Like you can mix it up.
Yeah.
But ultimately, as the only reason that would be a good thing to do is if they bring back the brand split for like Survivor Series, right? You have the Raw versus SmackDown Survivor Series that leads to some stuff happening at a Raw WrestleMania, SmackDown WrestleMania. I just don't want to see those labels.
Yeah.
Right. And I kind of thought of another idea that could happen, but I don't think you guys will agree with it because it kind of has to play with battle royals. But the tag team rosters are like, they have so many tag teams. Like both Raw and SmackDown have a ton of tag teams, 2 sets of belts. Why not, like, if something with this Usos and Kevin and Sammy thing happen, I just think like, hey, you have too many tag teams to like not utilize all of them.
Well, they've already planted the seed with splitting up those belts at least.
I'm
Because they've already
Open.
had this matches for the SmackDown tag team. Like they've already started
Well,
that
that
at
too.
least.
I just wish we got back to like triple threat tag team matches. Like, I mean, like we had the Hardys versus Dudleys versus Edge and Christian and stuff like that. Just like,
Which you will be able to hear about on our 30 Days of WrestleMania series.
yes, you will. But yes,
Sorry, I had to plug the product.
no, that's fine. But like,
hold on. What's the saying that you were saying? Yeah, you YouTube whatever,
What?
whatever.
Oh,
you
wants to
said.
play with whatever you- He wants to play with Nikki. No, it's are you talking about content creator shilling?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Whatever,
You
dude.
shill.
The only reason I did that is because I have that match on my set.
I have one too.
So yeah, well, whatever, dude.
So
Anyways,
okay, yeah, back to the point though.
back to Nia Jax.
Back to Nia Jax. So
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
honestly, you can throw her and Tamina in the tag team battle royal if that were to happen, even. But like, in my opinion, hear me out.
Yeah, I'm hearing you.
The Viking Raiders or whatever they're trying to do with the Viking Raiders. Okay, whatever we're trying to do with the Viking Raiders, I don't like. You put Sarah Logan back with them and tried to make them look like the most brutal tag team of all time. Like
And they renamed her too. What's her name now? Valhalla. Or is that their
Valhalla.
finisher?
Is that actually a thing? Is it
that's
actually?
their finisher name.
That's their. What's her name then? They renamed.
I think her name is Valhalla.
Maybe.
I think so too. Right? Or what do they
Do
name?
I
her?
care?
No, wait. Isn't their finisher Ragnarok or is her name Ragnarok?
I think her name's
Oh,
Valhalla.
no.
Dude,
I
there's
don't-
too much Thor crap going in. Like, just yes, of course.
Tag team Money in the Bank.
Oh,
That would be really cool.
that would be really
you
cool.
can cash in on the tag team champions whenever you want.
Yeah, but it's a tag team Money in the Bank where there's 6 teams.
Oh my.
That'd be awesome.
Can you write an email to Triple H actually? Because that's a really cool idea.
All right.
Why have I never thought of
All
that?
right. Hold on.
Are
now.
there- hold on.
Hold on now.
Can I throw a spin on it?
Nia Jax.
Do you want to go first? No, it's not Nia Jax related. Do you want to go first or can
Well, I
go
was going to
first?
say like, who would we want to put in it? But
Oh.
set the briefcase on fire.
No. Hold on. There's 2 briefcases, and you have to retrieve both.
It's a feast or
but one person can't retrieve both. Your tag team partner has to get the other briefcase, and if someone else gets that other briefcase, you are now a new tag team.
I don't like
and
that.
you get to decide.
Didn't they play something
when-
like that before?
They did that in TNA where like they had a wild card tag team tournament, like where they split up a bunch of tag
Yeah.
teams.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah. How cool would it be
That's
though
like the
if
Feast
like
or Fired thing too.
well just imagine like Los Matadores and the Bar is in that match, and you have like Primo
With Cesaro.
and Sheamus as a tag team now because they're the ones because Cesaro couldn't quite make it
But
to
honestly
the.
though, like why
the
didn't we
briefcase.
have a Money in the Bank for tag teams this whole
I don't
time?
know. I mean, how would you do it? Would only one person have to go up and get one briefcase, or would there be? 2
I would think
briefcases?
so.
Because tag team title matches and ladder matches have both belts, but one person can grab both belts. But it would take a while for someone to take down two
Right.
pieces.
Yeah. Yeah, it's different when it's a briefcase versus a title belt because they can just rip the title
Unless
belt
they make
down.
them like little mini briefcases.
Or we could just have a tag team ladder match like next year. Just 6-person tag team ladder.
Yeah.
I don't
Either
know.
way,
I
get
really
more
want-
tag teams involved.
Yes.
They just had an 8 on SmackDown only, by the way, an 8-team tournament. Like,
Yeah.
you can't have a tournament like that and not be able to utilize all of those teams. Like, just teams alone
What was the end result of that tournament?
was the end result of that tournament.
Oh,
I
it was,
feel like-
it was Ricochet and Braun.
Oh, never mind.
Yeah, so Ricochet and Braun are in a Money in the Bank
Uh-huh.
ladder match, but Braun gets one briefcase and Epico gets the
I
other.
thought you were going to say Nia Jax gets the other.
Jax gets the other. No, I don't talk about Nia Jax that much. I don't know why you guys keep
You're
bringing
just
it up.
weird sometimes.
I know.
You and Nia Jax. I don't understand it.
She's valuable. I don't know what to tell you.
Where is she then, dude?
Waiting, and she's number 30 in the Royal Rumble.
Next year?
No, this year.
I know this year, but like, she waiting again?
That's what she has a 1 day a year contract with
And if
WWE.
she wins, she continues. But
Oh, but it's booked, so she'll never win. Whatever.
Whatever, dude.
All right. Anything else we need to cover from this week in wrestling?
I'm done.
You're done.
Yeah, because of you.
What about you, Eddie?
I just want more matches, dude. I just need more to happen. I'm at that 6th level still.
Well, because here's the deal. We have what? There were 8 or 9 matches we talked about earlier.
Right.
That's one WrestleMania's worth. Like one night.
Right.
What the hell is going to happen the second night?
Saying, man.
I don't know.
What else could happen?
Let us know in the comments what's going to happen on the night that isn't this card that we just talked about.
Yeah.
Did I do it? Did I content create correctly?
Not really.
Did I
dude.
engage the audience?
I know we're going to get a lot known whenever we go to Raw on March 21st. So,
Yeah, we're gonna have.
Open.
There's gonna be a lot of stuff on our TikTok about that.
yeah.
Zach's
We're going to be
got it
live
on
and I'm going to be
lock.
recording.
What? No, we're not live
No, I'm not
streaming
live
Raw while
streaming.
we're there.
No.
You dingbat. Unless Nia Jax shows up, then we will be.
I said we will be there live.
Oh yeah.
Hey, dude. I don't
What?
think Nia Jax is going to be there.
Says you.
Dude, says everyone.
I'll mark out.
Are you like most girls?
I'm not like most girls. I want to play with Nikki.
Is that their tag team?
Most girls play with
Theme?
Nikki. That's their.
I'm not like most. Girls.
I'm not like-
I like to play with Nikki.
I'm not playing with Nikki. That's their.
Oh, dog.
That's their.
This is the end of the episode.
That's
Who wants to play with Nikki?
Hey, what's our socials?
Run us through
Twitter,
the socials.
Instagram, Facebook, TikTok. You can listen to us on Spotify, Apple Music, and
Anchor.
Anchor. I'm never going to remember that, dude.
Say that every episode.
I know, it's Spotify and Apple Music. Dude, just listen to us on those two, okay?
Anchor.
We'll
we
find
love
you.
We love you, Anchor. Anchor's a
Encore?
part of Spotify anyway.
Encore?
Aw.
If you
Encore?
got to the, I'm sorry. If you got to this far in the episode, I apologize.
Nikki?
let us know in the comments the two words, all caps, Nia Jax. If you got this part, if you got this far in the episode,
Let us know.
are you just packing up? I'm still in the outro.
Let
And
us
you're just
know-
packing up.
Let us know in the comments if you want to play with Nikki.
Eddie, rate us through the
All right, bye,
socials.
guys.
So I guess we're out of here. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you next week. Stop packing up while I'm doing the outro.
No.
All right, dude, I'm turning it off. You're being weird.
Did you turn it off? All right, I'm by myself. Nia Jax in the comments.